Hey everybody, IronObie, and I'm back again, and I won't be doing yet a video on, I won't be posting my run of the new dungeon yet, or the, getting the bows and stuff, because there are already channels who are more than covering that, that are more proficient than I in the community. But what I wanted to talk about is something I haven't really seen yet, is the review, or a review, an overlook of the first Iron Banner we got in Forsaken's launch window. So the first month of Forsaken, we got our Iron Banner, and it came out with some new rules. I'm going to quickly go over some of these rules. I'm not going to try to make the video too long. In the background stuff here is just the heroic adventure from today. Why is there no Iron Banner footage? Well, I was so busy trying to play some, I didn't record any. And the matches, I felt like I couldn't get a good enough of a streak going in some instances to record enough footage to make it like nice, but I just didn't have the time. I was too busy trying to crank out those bounties, trying to get the powerful gear, and working towards other stuff. The grind in Destiny 2 Forsaken is real, and you really got to focus on it. But Iron Banner. So what's different about Iron Banner now that Forsaken is out? Well, the biggest new mechanic at this point is that you have a lockdown mechanic. So originally in regular control, and you can play that right now in the quick play playlist, if someone locks down all 3 points, they just keep the points until the enemy team actually takes one of them back, and in which case it goes back to someone owns A and B and someone owns C. But in Iron Banner for Forsaken, if a team locks down the 3 points, it locks them down for like 15 seconds. There's even a bounty that was tied to this, which was get 15 kills while you have a lockdown. While I liked and it resets after 15 seconds goes by. All the points become just neutral, which means everybody has to recapture them again. And while I liked the sound of this from the outset when I was hearing about how it was going to be changing in Forsaken, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Maybe give Iron Banner a slight twist to see how it kind of, functions and how it works. Maybe make it a little bit different than just regular control, but with an Iron Banner skin on it. After playing, how many matches? At least 30 matches, because I got the bounty for completing 30 matches of Iron Banner this week. I feel really mixed on this mechanic now. I did feel like there were some instances where my team would just stomp. It was like 90 to 15, and it was just destruction. And it was really tough for any enemy team to come back. But I also had games where my team just couldn't get on point, and the enemy team would lock us down 90 to 15, and we would just lose. And I felt like there's been some hummer in the community about, people being upset, like, oh, well, I've had the most people quitting, people leaving games because it's become so one-sided. I've had so many one-sided games. I don't like where this Iron Banner has going. I think that is some true for me. I did notice that the power discrepancy, so since power is actually enabled now, which is another new thing in Forsaken Iron Banner, it does hinder some playability, because it seems like it's very steep on some of the power levels, and from what I saw on this, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but what I saw on the Crucible, if I was if I was 550, and I fought a guy who was 560, that slight power difference was enough to tip it in his scale. Now, personally, I think that's a little too steep. I think original Iron Banners, it was like 30 to 20 to 40 points, something over that. Then you could start to notice differences. But a 10-point power difference is pretty steep for people who are playing the Forsaken expansion and own it. I got guys who came in with me who were like 520, and they were fighting against the hardcore guys who were like 5'8", 558, or 560, and there was no way. There was no way he was going to do anything. So he's basically like dead weight. So it came to that point where I was like, okay, well, I'm hardcoring it, but my teammates aren't hardcoring it. So what do I do now, Destiny? Do I just say, sorry, you can't come with me because you are so weak that I will physically lose the match? Sorry. I don't do that. I'm not that kind of player. I'm not so elitist that I would say that to somebody. But that seems to be, the point. That seems to be a big point of contention. And then I have guys who don't own Forsaken, who go like, I would like to play Iron Banner, but it's like, yeah, but you're only 400 light, and it's power enabled now, which means if I'm having trouble fighting guys who are 10 levels higher than me, you're going to have an issue fighting people who are 140 light levels higher than you. Like, that's such a weird thing. And I know people asked for power back in Iron Banner, and they want power to matter more in PvP. But it seems a weird function to bring back, essentially, since Iron Banner is really one of the only things that people who don't own Forsaken can play anymore. So this is a very strange decision for the power enabled. I'm okay with it, but I also play a lot of Destiny. So my point comes across as I don't mind because I play it a lot. But other people go like, well, I don't have time to play. And then someone would say, oh, well, then you're a casual and you deserve to be destroyed by somebody who's, you know, whatever, 10, 20, 10 light higher than you. Or whatever the number is. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that to an extension. It almost is. And I've been seeing this with some PvE activities. I haven't seen this necessarily in PvP, but it is something that I've talked about in PvE, where, you know, they're like, how are you 540, or how are you this? Just because I play the game a lot. It's like, yeah, but I'm only 504. It's like, yeah, because you don't play the game. Yeah, but I don't, you know, I don't have the time. It's like, okay, well, then you won't, then not, obviously, you know, since you're not dedicating the time to the game, everybody else who does, the hardcore, if you will, are going to be better than you. I mean, that's how it is, but that's how people wanted it. Hardcore community was leaving because they felt like their time wasn't valued, or it was too easy, or there wasn't any sort of challenge for that, so they left. So, and this is getting way off into a completely different tangent. I could make a whole nother video on power leveling and casual versus hardcore. And I might, who knows? I probably will. Might even be the next video. But yeah, the power thing, I see where it's coming from, but I do think it is a strange decision to implement this after saying, oh yeah, well, everyone who doesn't own Forsaken will be able to play Iron Banner. It's like, yeah, but you can't, you know, you're not going to be able to compete if you just own Warmind and you're stuck at 400 light. There's nothing you can do. So that's a very strange thing. I'm iffy about the power, but I do see where that comes from. Now, the lockdown mechanic, I'm not 100% behind, because I feel like in some instances it did steamroll a lot. Like, I just have teams, again, just like 95 to 15, 103 to, you know, 20, and it was just bad. I'd have a lot of either people quitting and leaving the team with no penalty, I don't believe, or I'd have games where one team would just steamroll the other, and Shaxx would call it. I saw a tweet from somebody. It's not a tweet from some Twitter from somebody that someone was saying, like, you know, this is the most Iron Banner I've had, the most people leaving. I've had the most one-sided. Like, it's not because I don't believe it has skill-based matchmaking. It's much like Quick Play, which doesn't have that has that either, but it does have power level enabled. So I don't know where they're really trying to go for that. We'll see. The first Iron Banner, and this is like not a new thing with Destiny, the first Iron Banner of any new season or any new expansion or any new DLC, whatever it is, never is enjoyed. Usually there's massive lag issues, which I did encounter some. There's massive balancing issues, and, you know, we have issues all across the very first Iron Banner as they tweak it and try to get it up and running kind of to a normal place that we like. But those kinks will get worked out, and I think overall I had a mixed time. I had good moments, I had bad moments, and maybe that's supposed to be Iron Banner. You know, you have your highs and lows, as you do with Destiny 2. But anyway, guys, I've been IronObie. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think about, you know, Iron Banner. Give me an opinion here, because I would love to value someone else's opinion as well. I want to see what you guys think. Do you like the new mechanic? Do you like the new 6v6? Do you like power enabled? Yeah, I'm not against these things. I'm mixed about a lot of them, but I would like to hear your opinions specifically on them, because I think it helps with conversation, and I'd like to know it from a different angle than just my own, because I've seen it from the people who don't own the DLC. Obviously, my angle, which is I own the DLC, but I kind of agree with some things, and I see some things and how they could be, like how the lockdown mechanic could maybe be a little bit tweaked so that it's not completely shut out. So if one team's grabbing one of the points while the other team's grabbing another point, it doesn't immediately just lock it down. But yeah, give me those opinions down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Let me know what you think about Iron Banner, and I'll see you in the next one. I've been IronObie. Bye.